Several months ago, I did a video covering my favorite fragrances I had discovered in 2024 up to that point. That was the Q1 video, and as you can see, this is the Q2 video. Basically from the end of March to the end of June. We are now in July, so I'm going to recount 10 fragrances that I experienced this year. Some of them are new to this year, a lot of them are not, but they're new to me, so I'm sharing them with you. If you want to try any of these fragrances, they will be linked down in the description. That's it. Were you expecting more explanation? Let's dive right into it. In no particular order here, this is a brand new release for this year. This just came out within the past couple months from the house of Electimuss. This is my first and currently only bottle from the house. This is called Spice d'Arno, and this is a succulent fragrance. It kind of smells a little bit like a coconut vanilla cookie with a little bit of sweet booziness and some fresh spices, cardamom. So if you like cardamom, if you like that fresh, spicy, slightly sweet, alluring quality that cardamom can have, it is a major player here, but it is grounded by some creamy, smooth, again, coconut-like vanilla, almost gourmandish. There's a bran note in here, which adds this almost weedy, like bread-like feeling that honestly makes it smell a little bit more masculine, keeps it from smelling too gourmand, too sweet vanilla feminine. If you guys are worried about that, you don't have to worry about it here. Perfectly unisex, it can lean masculine, no problem. It is something I would say for an evening out, especially when it's not too warm, because not only is this stuff fairly sweet, it's also pretty dang strong. I was surprised at how much it was hanging around on my skin, easily 10-12 hours and beyond. So if that is something that matters to you, you may just find it here, but I wouldn't buy it for that. Buy it because the scent sounds interesting and pleasant to you. But I'm going to link to a sample down below to check out Electimuss Spice d'Arno. Let me know if you've checked it out down in the comments. The brand of Ormonde Jayne reached out to me not long ago, I want to say within the last month, and asked me if there's any fragrances I wanted to try from them. There was one fragrance truly wanted to try, so I did request it. They sent it over, and this is as good as I could have hoped, if not better. And many of you guys have probably tried it. This is called Montabaco Intensivo. It's a fragrance I did a first impressions video not long ago. You can check out the short I did when I unboxed it, and I shared with you how I felt about it. But it's a fragrance I, again, knew I would like because I do like this DNA. I own Verano. I do know the Montabaco DNA, and this is an intensified, richer version of that DNA. It is more dense, it is heavier, but it's still fresh, that fresh, musky, kind of spicy, woody scent profile, a little bit dry with the tobacco, some bright citruses, a nice floral heart that kind of rounds it out, keeps it really smooth. I was getting some good longevity out of this. It was lasting on my skin all day. I was getting that bubble, and I was loving that bubble. This wearing experience for me is teetering on 10 out of 10 territory. I gotta wear it a few more times just to be sure. But as I say, my ratings are based on wearing experience, not just on smell, which I know sounds weird. It's the way the fragrance makes me feel when it's around me, how it interacts with my mood, with my clothing, with the space that I'm in. All of that affects my overall outlook on the scent, and the pieces just line up with this one for me. Again, almost 10 out of 10. We'll see. I'll keep wearing it throughout the summer. This is a fragrance you can wear pretty much all year round. So if you're looking for a versatile option that smells basically clean and easy, but not generic at all, I would check out Ormonde Jayne Montabaco Intensivo, link down below. I did not do this fragrance justice when I first smelled it in my first impressions unboxing video I did here on YouTube. I did a little short, and I kind of wish I could go back and redo it, or at least do an update, but this is the update to this fragrance, and I'll explain why. This is from Alghabra. It's called Ancient Fortress. Now, if you've been watching my channel over the past couple years, you know that I am no stranger to this house, and I'm always eager to tell you guys how much I enjoy the offerings of this house. But this was the first fragrance I tried from them. When I first sprayed it on a blotter, again, in that first impressions video, I was a tad bit disappointed, not because I didn't like the way it smelled, but because it was much closer to representing another fragrance than I would have hoped. I did hear it might represent Tuscan leather, and unfortunately that was a little bit confirmed for me, and that's just not really my thing. I'm looking for variety in my collection. However, that was on a blotter, and as I've given this some full wearings, I've realized this is quite different from Tuscan leather. Yes, it has very present leathery nuance. Yes, it has this kind of sweet, fruity quality, but that is just the surface. There's such a unique quality to the fragrance, and that is an aquatic note. There is this watery, aquatic, oceanic type of feel, and I think it is supposed to depict literally an ancient fortress by the sea. So you get a fresh, watery quality, which is so unique for a leather fragrance. There's more going on than that, but if you can imagine an aquatic Tuscan leather, in fact, even better, more of like an aquatic ombre leather, but with more nuance than just what you get from ombre leather. There's more personality here. Then I would definitely check this out. Worth a sample. And if you have tried it, let me and everyone else know down in the comments what you think of Ancient Fortress from Alghabra. This fragrance is pretty brand new to me. This is from the house of Bon Parfumeur. They sent this over. This is called 803 Embrun, Gingembre, and Patchouli, which I believe, beyond my terrible French pronunciation, is translated to ocean spray, ginger, and patchouli. That is mostly what you get here. This is a simple but kind of unique scent profile. It is on the surface kind of fresh aquatic, but that ginger adds a warm spicy quality. So it is both cooling fresh and warm spicy at the same time. Cold and warm. Really beautiful combination. I'm always a fan of that duality. And mixed with patchouli, this damp earthy quality that kind of grounds it, gives it this width to it, so it does have some presence, but at the same time it's light. It's not going to last a super long time. It may not be super detectable to you for all of the day, so keep that in mind. You're not going to put on a fragrance like this for an 8+ hour wear unless you want to bring it with you and reapply. This is not the tool for the job. Wear the right tool for the right job. This is something where you only need it maybe 3 to 5 hours. It might last longer than that, but it is uplifting, again, simple, and kind of different. I really like this one, and I honestly like it more than I thought I would. That is 803 from Bon Parfumeur. Definitely gonna get some more wear out of it this summer. I know that there will be a lot of people who crap on this fragrance because of its performance. I love this stuff. I do think, once again, it is a tool for a particular job. So if this does not sound like something that fits into your functional wearing, skip it. This is from a designer house, I believe, called Brunello Cinelli, and this is just called their Pour Homme. They also do have a Pour Femme. This was perfumed by Olivier Cresp. I think this is so well done, but it is light. This is not a scent that is going to leave a monstrous bubble around you that's going to be super noticeable. Again, right scent for the right occasion. This smells so professional. It smells so gentlemanly, so high class, but more for, again, professional settings, more for the daytime. This is kind of signature scent where this is something you can spray on as your vibe. It is this fresh, woody scent profile. I think there might be some juniper, I'm not sure, but there's something kind of sharp, herbal and fresh about it, but dry and woody, and it's kind of wrapped up in this muskiness that makes it hang in the air in a very particular way. It makes it enter the nostrils in this really smooth, slow way. It just makes it feel like high quality, especially when you smell it in the air. And just the vibe of this, again, it's just confident, a little bit understated, but it's so well done. And honestly, it will lasts a good 8 hours on my skin, but it sits pretty close after those first 4 or 5 hours. So again, don't expect the strongest presence out of this scent. This is something you wear when you want to be understated, when you want to be discovered, but you want to have a professional, classy quality to you that just smells masculine. That is Brunello Cinelli Pour Homme. This next fragrance has also unfortunately got some lukewarm to negative reviews. It is a pretty new release from the house of Narciso Rodriguez, and I was highly anticipating this one. It is new to my collection, and I can't say I absolutely love it, but I like it a lot, and I think I like it a lot more than a lot of the reviews that are out there. This is called For Him Vetiver Musc. To me, this smells like the original For Him, which is this very musky fragrance profile. There is an almost stone-like scent to this. If I could explain it to you in an associative way, it would be, yeah, it does smell a little bit like stone. Some people say concrete. Dry, warm, there is that feeling to this fragrance, but there is a fresh vetiver. And I wouldn't even say it's all that present. It's a fresh, clean, light vetiver, lightly woody and dry. Maybe comes out a little bit more as it dries down. There's some cypress, which does add more of this dry quality, dry green, sharp and woody. Overall, a pretty soft scent profile, something that just emanates, but it does not overtake the space around you. It is a more elegant scent profile, something that I would say for the daytime when I want to have an elegant presence. I don't want to be overstated. I wouldn't say it's anything spectacular, but I do think it is a great addition to this collection. It does smell like it is tied to the DNA, but it is a pivot. It is a little bit of a new face on that identity that is Narciso Narciso Rodriguez For Him Vetiver Musc. Up next is a fragrance that I smelled many years ago for the first time, and I remember liking it. I remember the way it made me feel, but I could not remember what it smelled like. The brand sent it to me recently, and I've gotten reacquainted with it, and honestly, my wife has actually been wearing this way more than me. She loves this, and I love it on her, but I also love it for myself. It's perfectly unisex. This is called Sunday Brunch from Kieran NYC. This is such a delightful, uplifting fragrance. It is so aptly named. It smells like chamomile tea, lemony, fresh, light, a little fluffy, herbal, mildly sweet. It's just something that puts a smile on your face. It smells happy. If that's a mood you want to have in a scent profile, perfect for like a bright Sunday morning, this works perfectly. Such a well done scent inside and out as far as the inspiration goes. It's all cohesive. That is Kieran NYC Sunday Brunch. Here's a fragrance I've been talking about more and more over the past few months. This is from the house of Guerlain. It is their new Vetiver Parfum. I already really enjoyed the original Vetiver Eau de Toilette, and this takes it to another level. It is very clearly connected to that scent personality, but it is very much a parfum. I did a whole video about parfums. You can check it out here. I was afraid this would be completely redundant next to the original, and honestly it's not. At least if you're asking me, I would wear this in different situations than I would wear the original. It is very clearly that dry green fresh vetiver that you get out of the original. It's not quite as bright and fresh, more on the dry, woody, smoky side of things, still quite green. And what I love about this is that you get a little bit of this sweetness as it dries down on the skin from some licorice, maybe even some tonka bean. It is this very odd but beautifully complementary sweetness that is wrapped inside of that green smoky woodiness. Elegant, masculine, still smells classic but easily modern. That is Vetiver Parfum. I'm really enjoying this stuff. From a small, beautiful brand based in Tuscany, specifically in the Siena region in Italy. This is called Anima Libera. The brand is called Notte del Chianti. So they are paying homage to the Chianti region, which is known for its wines and many other things as well. Would love to go there someday. Let us know if you have down in the comments. Man, this is a fresh men's signature fragrance with so much depth. It's so aromatic, spicy, fresh, clean, but not like shower gel, not aquatic, none of that. It is this natural, spicy freshness. However, there's this rich, kind of sweet nature, almost warm, ambery, but not overtly so. I don't know exactly where that's coming from. I don't remember the notes, but it is this pretty present, warm, non-gourmand sweetness that is backing this fresh, spicy quality. It does remind me a little bit, just a portion of this scent reminds me of La Nuit de l'Homme from Yves Saint Laurent. But if you could imagine a slightly more complex, more rich, and just smoother version of that scent profile, that is kind of what I get here. I really enjoy it. It's a scent that you can wear pretty much anywhere, anytime. Maybe not my first choice on the hottest day, but I think it could still work. It is designed to be a bit of a signature scent. So this is maybe a brand you've never heard of. Maybe check them out. I'm going to link them down below. That is from Notte del Chianti, Anima Libera. This is a fragrance I just got in April, so it came right after the Q1 cutoff, and I've been really enjoying it ever since. This is one that not everyone will appreciate because it does smell a little bit old school, a little bit mature, but very, very refined. It came out in the early 2000s, I believe, and it kind of smells like it, but it mostly smells timeless. I can see this being around for a long time. From Acqua di Parma, this is Cipresso di Toscana, and Cypress is definitely a major player here. Sharp, dry, green and woody. This is mostly very, very fresh, almost soapy with a beautiful citrus vibe. It might remind some of you guys of some household cleaners, honestly, that you may have used or grown up smelling. That might sound terrible, but I don't mean for it to sound terrible. I think there's also a good bit of pine in here, and the pine and the cypress and the citrus all together could remind some of you guys of stuff you've smelled in years past in your childhood, but maybe you have no association with that. It's really mild. That's not how I would characterize this scent, don't get me wrong. Ultimately, this is a fresh, soapy, green, woody, bright, but dry, masculine scent. You can wear it for any occasion. Could be a signature scent, day or night. It's just a vibe. It is this refined, mature vibe in a bottle, but it's still kind of uplifting and still very clean. So let me know if you've checked this one out. If you haven't, there's going to be a link down below. That is Cipresso di Toscana from Acqua di Parma. Our final fragrance is one that I did recently feature from the house of Cartier. This is brand new to me. I I had to buy it from overseas, but thanks to a subscriber, I was able to get a good deal on it. So I appreciate you hooking me up with a way to purchase this fragrance and experience it. From the Lanvin collection, this is the, I believe, discontinued and at least hard to find Lanvin Parfum. I have recently talked about it once again in that Parfum video I referenced earlier. If you know the Lanvin DNA, it is here, but this is a beautiful example of what a Parfum flanker can be, and in my opinion should be. Cartier is known to do phenomenal concentration flankers, but do them in a way that gives the new version not only a new function, but also a slightly new personality on the original identity. So this is the original Lanvin, which is this violetly fresh, so kind of cooling fresh, but sweet honey with powdery iris and woods. Very elegant, very refined, but very different. And this takes that and it warms it up. It takes away the freshness. It adds what smells like a leather note. This kind of dry, slightly brash leather note that dries on the skin really elegantly. It adds a brand note, which we talked about in that Electimuss fragrance earlier. It's hard to really describe, and I don't know the note super well, but I'm trying to get to know it through some of these fragrances. It is a richer, almost more ambery version of the original. It does smell more exotic in a way, almost like this Middle Eastern perfume treatment to the original Lanvin, if you can imagine that, but the identity is intact. So I'm really enjoying Lanvin Parfum. I look forward to getting to know it, but unfortunately we're coming into summer. This is not a summer fragrance. I'm not going to be wearing this a whole lot over the next few months, so you'll see this resurface more as we move into the fall time. But let me know if you're one of the few who have tried this one. That is Lanvin Parfum. All right, once again, every fragrance we discuss will be linked down in the description. Let me know what you think if you've tried any of these. Let me know down in the comments. Let's talk about it. And thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.